I've been using this Ultrahuman Ring Air for 3 months now, and in this video I want to share with you my experience and whether or not this is a good tool to add to your fitness and sleep tracking. Down below you will see the different chapters to this video so you can jump around to whichever chapter you're interested in. First and foremost, I want to talk about battery life, and this ring obviously has a small battery, due to the limitation of it being a ring and not something like a watch. But battery life overall has been great for me. I'm not really using this for tracking activities like running or biking or specific workouts, but what I've been using this is to just track my footsteps, track my sleep, and for that I've been able to get 4 to 5 days without any trouble whatsoever. Now, where I was really able to push this battery life to its limit from 100 all the way down to just the ring dying itself was on a trip a couple months ago to Banff, Canada. Over there it was cold, and every day we were doing activities like sightseeing, which involved a lot of walking, a lot of hiking, and then also at nighttime I was still doing my sleep tracking. On Friday, when we were supposed to leave, my ring was fully charged at 100%. And then on Tuesday, when we were supposed to return, it was around the 20 to 25% mark. And so had I gotten on the flight in time, I would have been able to return home and get the ring charged back up. So it lasted the entirety of that trip. Unfortunately, we got stuck in Dallas due to storms, and we didn't end up leaving till Wednesday evening. It was Wednesday afternoon when the ring finally reached 1%, and that's when it completely died. So if you are going on a weekend trip and you know you're going to be doing a lot of walking and sleep tracking, and you don't want to bring an extra charger with you, I think a 4 to 5 day trip should not be any kind of issue. Because I know for a fact that if I actually did return on Tuesday, then I would have not had any problem with the ring staying charged through the entirety of my trip. Now, when it comes to charging, you do that with this charger that comes in the box. It also comes with the USB-C cable, but the downside to this charger is that it's specific to your ring size. So if you're a ring size 9 and your spouse is an 8, well, you can't share the same charger. So that's another reason why I wanted to see that if I go away for a weekend trip, do I need to bring this charger with me, because it's now one more thing that I have to carry and one more thing that I have to charge. So that's why I tested it that way, because this is a downside. Now, what's not a downside is the fact that because the battery is small, what I've been doing is that every time I go to step in the shower, I just throw this on the charger, and in those like 10 to 15, 20 minutes, whatever, shower time you have, you can boost the charge up a little bit and be good to go for another couple days. Now, the last thing to keep in mind with this charger, and this could be another downside for you, is there is a light at the top that does illuminate when you go to charge it. So if you're going to be charging this on your bedside, then this might not be the best thing, because if you're somebody that likes to sleep in a completely dark room, this is a little bit of light, so it could be bothersome to some people. I don't charge it in my room, so that's not a problem for me whatsoever. Now, what I do keep at my bedside is my charger for my Apple Watch, my iPhone, and my AirPods. This brings me to the sponsor of today's video, which is my own company, TechMomo. The Executive 3-in-1 charging system is the perfect pair to charge up your iPhone, Apple Watch, and AirPods. The great thing is that it's got Magsafe built right in, so you've got fast charging for your iPhone, fast charging for your Apple Watch, which is the same as the charger that Apple gives you in the box. And even though the light on this cannot be turned off, the lights on that charging system can be turned off, because I know that that is something that bothers people when they sleep at night. Now, make sure to use the code YouTube for an additional 10% off. And just a quick thank you to any of you that have supported me in the past and continue to do so, whether that's through my store or this YouTube channel. I'm truly grateful for each and every one of you. What I want to move next to is comfort, because as you can see, I do have an Apple Watch Ultra, and I have tried sleep tracking with the Apple Watch, but it doesn't work for me, because wearing a watch at night is just, it's too bulky. You know that it's there. I'm sure some people can do it, but for me personally, I have tried it out and it just doesn't work, which is exactly why I wanted to look into a ring in the first place. Now, when it comes to wearing the ring, it is very comfortable. It's very light. It's made of titanium. And what I do is at nighttime, I switch it over to my right hand on this finger and I use it for sleep tracking. And during the day, I wear it basically as my wedding ring, which this is a lot lighter than. So overall, like in these 3 months, have I ever experienced any kind of discomfort when using this throughout the day or throughout the night? Nope, no problems for me so far. Now, what could be a problem is that if you are somebody that's using this at the gym. So what I personally recommend is that those moments when you're going to be doing a cycling session or working out at the gym, those moments are perfect for the Apple Watch. But then when you need to do just daily steps or your sleep tracking, you can take off the Apple Watch at night and just have your ring do the sleep tracking for you. Now I want to move on to something that really shined for me when it came to using not only the ring, but also the app. First of all, I love the way that the app is laid out. It's got a very nice design. It's very Apple-like, so something that you would expect, like much like you're used to seeing the Apple Health app. The app has all your info, all your statistics ranging from your movement to your stress, your dynamic recovery, your sleep stats. Everything is laid out in a nice way, and everything can be tapped on and then opened up to see more details and get more insight into that specific metric. Now, what I really loved is when you first set this up, you get the ring, you set up your app, make your login and everything. What's nice is that the ring and app begin to study your behavior. So when you're going to sleep, when you're waking up, and then it gives you different recommendations based on those specific things. So those type of like personal recommendations that the app is going to send you via notifications, I really like those because this is something that even the Apple Watch should be doing. Just recommending you, hey, don't drink any caffeine at this time, because the Apple Watch being on your wrist all the time is also studying the same metrics that this ring is doing. So that would have been really cool to have that implemented with the Apple Watch, but it's not there. And so when I started getting all these recommendations from the app, it really helped me change like when I was eating and when I was sleeping, or my ideal bedtime, and knowing when to start my caffeine intake or delay my caffeine intake. And of course, you have to remember that these metrics are just an insight. It's really cool to see what's going on inside of you that wasn't otherwise visible to you. So it just gives you more insight. And in no way should you obsess over this. Are there days where I've had caffeine after my recommended cutoff time? Yes. There are going to be days where you're not going to be sleeping at 10 o'clock. Of course, those things are going to happen. So this shouldn't be something that you should obsess about. But instead, it should just be something that is another insight and just another way to do some good for your body, because it really makes a difference. My HRV, my sleep metrics, my sleeping time, my sleeping recovery, all of this has gotten better since I've gotten the ring. And when I wake up and have days where I ate too late or I went to sleep too late, I definitely feel those impacts. Whereas otherwise before, I would be like, why do I feel so tired today even though I slept for 8 hours? Because it's not just about the time that you sleep, it's about how you're sleeping. So this app and the ring have really helped me out in that aspect. And I wish that the Apple Watch would give you these kind of recommendations, because it is a fitness tracker as well, because both of them do the exact same thing. So overall, I've really loved just all the different insights that the app can provide. It's run really well for me. I haven't had any issues. And one thing I will say is that what I really liked is just in this 3-month period, there have been so many updates. Like for example, the stimulant permissible window, it never used to have a time. There was just like a regular graph, and then it would, and you had like big indicators of time. So like, let's say 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., and you were just kind of supposed to gauge what exact time is good to start your caffeine intake or cut it off. Now they've added specific time markers. So there's a bunch of updates that have happened within the app in just 3 months that I've had the ring, which tells me that the Ultrahuman team is really dedicated to actually constantly making improvements, which is something good to know about. The other good thing is that there is no subscription. That is one reason why I wanted the Ultrahuman ring, is because I don't want to have another subscription to take care of just to get a little bit more insight into my data. Now, there are additional things that you can purchase within the app, but those are one-off things that you can do. For example, if you want to track your blood sugar and you want live tracking for blood sugar, you can get their monitor, and it is a separate like subscription-based service. But for your standard things like your fitness tracking, your sleep tracking, and all this data and all this info like HRV and sleep metrics and whatnot, those things are all there free without any monthly cost. And I really love that. Next thing I want to talk about is going to be durability. Now, on my ring, there are a bunch of scratches all over. I got the natural titanium color, so you're not going to see those as easily as compared to, let's say you have the black and that begins to wear over time. But because my Apple Watch Ultra is also that natural titanium, I wanted to have like a matching color. So the scratches are there, they're just not as noticeable. But this is something that you should be concerned about, because if you are going to get a colored variant like the gold or the black one, then that is probably going to wear out over time. So, do you really want to replace this ring that quickly? So I would really suggest that the natural titanium is probably the best color to go for in terms of long-term durability. Last but not least, can this make for your only fitness tracker? I really don't think so. I think the perfect way to do your fitness tracking is to use this for your daily, steps and stuff, right? And then also use this for sleep tracking. And your Apple Watch can do all the heavy lifting. So when you go for those workouts, cycling sessions, whatever fitness activity that you're doing, use the Apple Watch because it has a bigger battery. The ring, that's the one limitation it has. Because of its size, because it is a ring, there's only so much battery you can pack into this kind of size. And because of that, when you're doing workout sessions, any kind of workouts, it has to activate those sensors more frequently to really tune in on your metrics. And because of that, it's going to wear out the battery faster. It's not to say that you can't do it. You can do it. It's just you're going to have to charge it more frequently. This is a great device, and it's really helped me a lot, and I would highly recommend it. I really hope that this video has been helpful to you in providing some insight as to whether or not this is something you should incorporate into your fitness and sleep routine. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Comment down below with any questions you might still have for me, and I'll be happy to help you out. And most importantly, take care of yourself, and I will see you, like always, in the next video.